Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Afi and I'm back again with another video. I don't know if I like the setup, but I like that it's like just, clear light. So I hope you enjoy this video. This video is going to be, this is still in the theme of like new year, end of year, reflection, resolutions type thing. And today's video is habits that I'm going to stop in 2022, or rather something that I am working on, things that I've reflected, I've done so much in this year 2021 that have led to my year becoming absolutely trash. And so yeah, just to make sure 2022 is not as trashy as it was as 2021, there's just certain things that I feel like in my life I need to kind of like change and shift, and so that's what I'm going to talk about today. I feel like the thing that makes me so afraid of doing these videos, like I'm opening up myself, I am being vulnerable, saying things that are scary to say, but anyway, it's fine. I'm doing my makeup as well. I have class in about like literally 20 minutes, so this is going to be a quick makeup look. Nothing fancy, just bitu kidogo too, just so that I can look nice. And I feel like my skin is actually like thriving, like I'm looking so good today. I'm very, very happy about that, by the way. Anyway, shall not be taken for granted. So let's get into this video. Yeah, the first thing that I'm going to stop in 2022 is pressuring myself. I have this insane idea of the person that I am, and like what I expect of myself. So for example, if like there's something that needs to be done, in my head I'm like, I must do it now, and if I don't do it now, I am a failure in life. And so that gives me, like, I'm just always pressuring myself to be the best, to do the best, to like literally, if I'm given a task in my head, I'm like, it must be completed in this moment, like it is do or die. And the biggest danger of that is that I notice that a lot of things fall behind when I'm doing such things, because especially right now I'm currently doing like a mission, and let me tell you guys, when you're working for the church, like work never ends. It's literally just ongoing forever. It never ever ends. So this is actually something so fresh that happened. So last 3 weeks I was focusing all my energy on that, and because of that I wasn't able to do like some schoolwork and stuff like that. And so this week came and I was just like behind on everything, and it's mainly because in my head I was like, yeah, instructions come every single second, and I'm like, let me get this done. When I'm done with this work, then I'm going to like go into schoolwork. But as I said, work, like, it never ends. So I'm there literally like all the time doing this work, and it's never ending, and it was not serving me. It was not the best thing. And so yeah, that's something I'm really trying to do, like just stop pressuring myself to be like the best, or like thinking that everything is do or die in this moment. More often than not, things are not like, yeah, they're urgent, they can be urgent, but urgency is not only now. That's the thing that I'm learning. Like, urgency is not only now, like urgency can also be tomorrow, that kind of thing. Especially when it comes to like my school work suffering, that's something that I don't want to compromise on, because this entire year I've really been struggling with school, and I'm finally in a good place, in like mentally I'm like, yes, in a good place in my life. So I'd like to be as present as I can be in my 4th year before I finish classes and eventually graduate. So yeah, that's the first thing. I want to stop pressuring myself because there's a lot of stress, and I feel so disappointed in myself, and I just get myself so down, and like, it really is not necessary. That's the thing that I'm learning. It's not necessary, and I thought it was, but it's not. Okay, another thing that I want to kind of like stop pressuring myself in is responding to messages. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, in my head, when a message comes in, it must be responded to at that moment, like it is urgent. I'm sorry, as I speak today, I have about like 3-4 people that I have not responded to yet. It was like a really, really good conversation, but I have not responded yet. And it's just because like so much is happening at the same time. Life is really coming at me, and then I'm also trying to figure out time to rest and just like recuperate as well in the midst of all the crazy. And so I end up not responding to messages, and then I like beat myself up, and I'm like abusing myself and being mean to myself and stuff like that. And I realized that sometimes I have the exact same standard for other people, and it's not fair to want somebody to respond to your message in that moment. As much as it would be nice to have like an ongoing conversation, in the past like 2 weeks I've actually been battling with the thought of like, whenever I see a message, I look at it and I'm like, do I feel like continuing this conversation right now, or do I just want to not respond and give it a little bit of time? This idea of like continuing conversations, texting, things like that, I've always been really, really good at it, to be honest, like to a fault. I feel like I tell people sometimes, I'm like, I can make time for people to a fault. Like, it's actually quite embarrassing how much I can make time for people. And because I was able to do that, I used to want the exact same thing. And I know not everyone is capable of doing that and things like that. But in the past like 2-3 weeks, I've really been struggling to, actually maybe it's been like a month or 2 or 3. I've been struggling to keep up conversations, and when I see a message coming in my head I'm like, I'd like to respond to this, but I just don't have the energy, even if I have the time. So I don't know, I'm really like battling that, but I just need to stop pressuring myself. Like, it's fine, like if somebody is not dying, then it's okay. Like, you don't have to pressure yourself to respond in that moment. Alright, so the second thing that I need to stop doing is just this idea of perfectionism. And the reason why I put these as 2 different points is because for me, the idea of perfectionism, I've seen it very, very well, especially when it comes to like executing work and doing work. So schoolwork, just like other work, I noticed that in my head, I kind of like want it to be done perfectly, right? So if I don't have the time to do it perfectly, then I think that I can't start it, or like I can't get to it. It's almost like in my head I'm like, this must be done perfectly, I must be able to allocate the perfect amount of time for it, and if I can't do that, then I can't do it, basically. And so that leads to procrastination. And so something that I really need to stop is just that thought. I used to be very good at like not just like distributing my time and things like that, but in the past year I've struggled so much. And I was telling someone about like discipline and how much I've struggled with discipline. But I think more than discipline, it's just that idea of like, I want to be able to do my things perfectly well, and that requires like an amount of time. So for example, with my research project, right, in my head I'm like, I need to carve out 3 hours to be able to do what I need to do. And that's why until today I've not done what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to be honest, like when I genuinely think about it objectively, I don't need 3 hours to do what I need to do. I really don't. Like, I can genuinely just like get it done in like an hour. And more than that, I can do it in bits. But in my mind, I've like mentally script off that idea. I'm like, no, I need more time. I need, things like that. And today I was actually given a task, and in my head I kept thinking, oh my god, where will I find the time to do this work? Then one of my classes finished, and I was like, oh, I actually have the time to do it, so why not just do it now? So I did like a little bit of it, which was nice. That actually felt really, really nice to get like a little bit of it done. So I guess that's just it, like just ending this thought of perfectionism and wanting everything perfectly well done, things like that. That's something that I need to stop. Okay, the next thing is I need to stop being afraid of setting boundaries with certain people. Some of my friends know this year I have complained about like a certain thing, or like a certain group of people, or whatever it is, but I have genuinely complained quite a bit. And at this point in my life, and like at this point of the year, even in my head, I'm like, I need to stop complaining and just figure it out, because all of this complaining, first of all, is not serving me personally. I don't have the energy to keep complaining about the exact same thing. Like, I like to complain once and then move on with my life, like find a solution and move on. But with this certain situation, it's literally been like a 2-year complaint, like actually could be 3 at this point, a 3-year complaint, right? And it's almost like I'm not reaching the end. And such things irritate me. For lack of a better word, I hate dealing with the exact same thing like over and over and over and over, like as if I can't find a solution. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that I actually cannot stand. And so I really need to start setting certain boundaries, and I think maybe I'm still just trying to figure it out. But more than that, I just need to communicate my thoughts and just get them out in the open. So that's something that's going to be done in 2022, will not be done right now. Of course, here I am procrastinating the situation again, but yeah, I am determined to do it in 2022, hopefully early 2022, and just get it done, because like I'm not about this. I'm really not about this. But yeah, just setting boundaries with certain people and asserting myself, even with myself, and like I just need to stop feeling bad or attached to people and things like that. Because let me tell you something, I really have learned that you can be attached to people, you can think you're best friends, but they don't think that you are best friends. So you're in this relationship alone, and you're getting hurt alone, and you know, it's just not worth it. So yes, the next thing that I need to stop doing is I need to stop shrinking myself in order to become a lot more acceptable to certain people. I recognized a lot this year, a lot of times when I felt like I had to just like minimize myself, be humble. I had to, like just that idea of humility. I was seeing somewhere someone was basically like, first of all, don't let people convince you to be humble, just because a lot of times people want to tell you to be humble so that they can step on you. And also so that you don't like assert your power, so that you don't assert who you are, what you know you can do, and things like that. So I think essentially I just need to start being bold, basically. So if it's like what I need to start doing is I need to start being bold and just stop shrinking myself. That idea of shrinking myself really is so outdated, and for some reason I kind of felt like I had to do it, but I'm just over it at this point. I think I am growing into something that I just, I have no desire to shrink myself anymore. I know what I can do. I know what I need to do. I'm finally in like a good place spiritually. And the reason, and I mean, that could be debatable depending on so many things, but essentially my connection to God is a lot better right now than it was for most of this year. So I'm grateful about that, and that gives me a lot of confidence, because I think a lot of times when I struggle with like dealing with man, it's because I'm struggling with my relationship with God. And I don't know how to say this, but my confidence genuinely comes from my relationship with God. Like whenever my relationship with God is good, honestly, nothing scares me. No man can scare me. No woman can scare me, for gender equality, But like nothing scares me when my confidence in God is like on point. But when I start to think about people's opinions of my relationship with God, then that starts to blur the lines. I become a lot more like timid. I start to think, oh my God, maybe I'm actually not qualified, things like that. So that's another thing that I need to work on. I just need to work on not listening to people's opinions or not paying attention to them, just because it can be detrimental. Man is man, and man will genuinely derail you according to how they think you should live your life based on their own experiences. And it's not to say that it's wrong, but everyone is on their own path. So yes, the final thing, I think I did 5. The final thing is I need to stop wallowing in self-pity. I said this one time, my friend and I, we do this thing called taking stock, which I am working on. Have not done it yet, sorry. But we do this taking stock, and something that I said was like, I need to stop wallowing in self-pity. I can't do that anymore, honestly. I know life has been trash. I know like I've been hit and I have been tumbled, stumbled, crumbled. I have gone through the absolute most, like a lot more than I have been aware of in my entire life, and it's been difficult, but then I can't live like that anymore. I cannot live in this cycle of negativity and just feeling sad and down and stuff like that. So 2022 is the year of stopping to wallow in self-pity. Like, I am 100% confident in who I am. I know the kind of stuff I'm going through even currently. I know the difficulties that are happening, but I'm not going to hold on to that and cry about it all the time. I will definitely be honest about it and not like show a picture of like my life is perfect, but I'm also not going to just like wallow and die and just be like, oh my god, my life is over. I'm not doing that anymore. Like, I'm over it. Life was trash. Life is trash sometimes. People go through stuff. Like, we can move on finally. So yeah, that's the fifth thing that I need to stop doing, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm excited for 2022. I'm not sure when this video is coming out. Hopefully this week, or it will come out next week. I'm not too sure, but yeah. So yeah, see you next time. Bye.